Your thoughts on Pro Football Focus in general, Caleb?
I hold Pro Football Focus in high esteem with a caveat. There are things, Pro Football Focus takes a lot of good analytics and data into account. They can't take certain things into account, so I give them a break. So, for instance, it's very hard for them to grade offensive linemen. Jerome Carvin was in the 50s consistently last year, every game he played. Dave, you and I know he's better than an offensive lineman who grades in the 50s.
His grade, not his rank. Okay. Because
yes, his grade.
Rank would be pretty good. His grade, yes.
Yes, his grade was,
for those that don't know, the grade's 0 to 100. Go ahead.
Right. The grade 0 to 100. His grade was consistently in the 50s. I think that had a lot to do with other things he was dealing with at the time at guard. A lot of times he kind of helped out a lot of tackle. Scheming can hold back grades for cornerbacks and offensive linemen in particular.
No, that's true. That is true. I guess when they're graded, which is when I think of grade, and I want to get to Tennessee being number 11 in Pro Football Focus's preseason top 25. But when Pro Football Focus grades a player, they can't completely take account into the scheme into account. So what happens is they, like an NFL scout, for instance, will grade just the player, or an evaluator, a recruiter in college, just the player, regardless of scheme. I think there are times Pro Football Focus tries to push the envelope a little bit, get a grade out, and like you said, doesn't account for scheme.
Right, exactly. So I have respect for them. I think they are very good in what they do specifically, but I think it's taken with a caveat and a grain of salt. But there's no bias with Pro Football Focus, and that's what I like. There's no, it's like SP Plus or FPI. You can't look at a Pro Football Focus rating and say, that's not fair. This person should be higher. And so I give them credit for that.
No, and you see that ESPN's kind of copied it a little bit with Bill Connolly. So Pro Football Focus is, goodness gracious, 20 years old. So Tennessee's rank and the one player that actually made the preseason list for Pro Football Focus, I'll go ahead and tell you, I was stunned that this was the one and only player. 4 Downs is now, and it's brought to you by our friends at Zen Sports.
4 Downs. 4 questions. 4 answers. The Dave Hooker Show.
4
Downs. A presentation of OffTheHookSports.com.
All right, here we go. Tennessee, number 11, and only one ball makes the first, second, third team. Well, surprising to me. And it's brought to you by Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. That means no more deposit bonuses that turn into deposit nightmares. On Zen Sports, what you see is what you get. And with their cash rewards program, you get a lot of cash money for a welcome bonus. Earn an unlimited 5% cash back on your betting volume for your first 15 days when you sign up with the code HOOKED. That's HOOKED. That's right. Unlimited 5% cash back. Keep betting, keep earning with up to 3% cash back on your betting volume every month after that. And refer friends to earn a percentage of their betting volume as cash rewards too. Zen Sports bringing the cash back to Tennessee. So if you bet big on sports, you want to be betting on Zen Sports. Zen Sports betting just got better. Use the promo code HOOKED, HOOKED. Tennessee, number 11, number 11 in the nation in the Pro Football Focus ranking. And Squirrel White is the only player to make the top 3 in the rankings. So let's go ahead.
All SEC teams, you mean? To make any of the 3 SEC teams?
Any of the 3 all SEC teams, excuse me. So let's go ahead and get to 4 Downs right now. Our good friend Cooper, who is recovering and texted with over the weekend. Again, I'm not going to share any injury news. I just don't think that's kosher in what we do. But I can tell you he's feeling good, and the latest is a couple of weeks. So we're looking at maybe into next week that he could return quite possibly. So let's get to 4 Downs right now. And number 1, Coop
here, first down.
Too high, too low. Tennessee at number 11. Here are the teams that rank ahead of them. That would be, of course, Georgia is going to be Number 1, Michigan is number 2. Ohio State is number 3. Florida State number 4. Alabama number 5. LSU number 6. Southern California number 7. 8 is Clemson. And then 9 is Penn State. I'm curious who you would have Tennessee ranked over.
And 10 is Texas.
What's that?
And 10 is Texas.
10 is Texas. Who would you have ranked over that crew?
I was so diplomatic on the last segment. I was so diplomatic to Pro Football Focus. I was like, they can't get everything right, but I don't think their stuff is ridiculous. But then I see the list, and I think I overlooked when we did our rundown this morning, Dave. Florida State at number 4.
That seems high.
What's going on there? Honestly, what's the data point that has them put? The only thing I could think maybe is PFF doesn't take chemistry or anything into account and just looked at the transfer portal additions. But Tennessee should be ahead of Florida State. I'm sorry, they should be ahead of Florida State. They should also be ahead of Texas. They're the best UT wearing orange this year in football. They will be, and so they should definitely be ahead of Florida State and Texas. They were ahead of Texas in the coaches poll. I mean, I'm the guy, Dave, that's usually like, I don't respect coaches' analysis over analytics, but the coaches got it right, at least with Tennessee and Texas, and the analytics were getting it wrong. I can't believe that.
Well, and then would you carry over the Orange Bowl when we're talking about Clemson and Tennessee? Would that be a significant notion in your mind? I mean, would you automatically have them above Clemson because of the Orange Bowl and what was pretty much a meaningless game? Do you automatically have them above Clemson, or do you look at it as this is a new team?
I don't automatically have them above Clemson. I do think the reason I would have Tennessee above Clemson, though, it's a combination of that and the fact that Cade Klubnik is no more of a sure bet than Joe Milton is.
No, but that's true. He's not, but he was a higher regarded player coming in. He'll be a higher regarded player coming into this year than Milton, because Milton has had his struggles in college. With Klubnik, there's always the new feel. And so I think that's part of it. I understand that if somebody says I would take Cade Klubnik over Joe Milton because we've got a larger sample size and we have seen Joe Milton struggle, I understand it. I'm not saying it's fair. Does that make sense?
Yes, I would take Cade Klubnik over Joe Milton long term, though. But Cade Klubnik versus Joe Milton this year, there's nothing to suggest Klubnik will be better this year. As a matter of fact, the questions about Milton, you can have those questions about Klubnik because of the Orange Bowl. Because honestly, Dave, I think bowl games, it's like a pro day for a quarterback. I think they should help the quarterback because I feel like defenses are playing just base coverage and they're just not that into it. So it should actually be an opportunity for quarterbacks to throw all over the field, shouldn't it? And so for Klubnik to struggle is an issue. And
I thought they put him in some bad situations too, Clemson's coaches. I felt like they were either going all out to, hey, like this game doesn't mean anything, let's be aggressive and do some weird things. So they had the 4th down play that they went for. And I thought they put him in some bad situations. I think he's way better than what we saw in the Orange Bowl, but I got no argument with what you just said. 2nd down, Coop.
Cooper Mays here. 2nd down.
Squirrel White was the only player to make the top 3 all SEC teams in Pro Football Focus. I'm having a lot of trouble with that one. And I'm not just saying it because I like him on a personal and professional level. But how does Cooper Mays not make this? If you're just judging ability, which I guess they're not, I guess they're judging productivity too. How's Brew McCoy not on this list? Squirrel White's not the best player on the team. He may be in the top 5, but he's not the best player on the team.
Yeah, I don't know how they got to this. I don't know how they came down to Squirrel White. I do know that I will say this, which is when I was tracking the grades last year, you could maybe give me more insight to this day, but something about Josh Heupel's scheme, I brought up Jerome Carvin. A lot of players, their PFF grades are, the offensive line has significantly low PFF grades. across the board. The only player who had a high PFF grade last year for Tennessee was Darnell Wright, but that's Darnell Wright, and he was amazing. But
Well, by
Ollie
the way,
Lane,
he's dominating in Bears camp.
I didn't see that he is.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. Don't be surprised if he flips to left tackle pretty soon in his career. Maybe not this year, but soon.
Wow. Well, so Ollie Lane was the second highest graded PFF offensive lineman last year.
Oh,
so he's
played 500 snaps in his career at Tennessee. And a lot of those were garbage time snaps. How do you even grade that?
Yeah, that's the thing. And so I think something with Heupel's system, with the downfield blocking, with the tempo, hurts the grading of offensive linemen in this system. Kind of like if PFF were to be around in the 90s, Dave, you and I both know, in John Chavis' system, cornerbacks would always have a low PFF grade because they're left on islands all the time with receivers. And a lot of time they're doing zone coverages and just hoping that the blitzes from the ends force an errant pass somewhere.
I'll go ahead and tell you that Dylan Sampson is going to have more yards from scrimmage than Squirrel White this year because Squirrel is going to have to split some time with the other receivers, particularly Dante Thornton. Dylan Sampson has kind of gotten lost in the summer shuffle, but he had the best spring and the best offseason. I bet he'll have more yards than Squirrel White this season. It's going to be close, but I'll go out on a limb. What down is next? Cooper Mays?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Who will be on the postseason list on offense? After the season's over and done, you give me your 3 top players that will make the All-SEC Pro Football Focus postseason list.
So, top 3 players. I think offense, that
just offense.
Okay. On offense, I think Brew McCoy. I would have had Cooper Mays a shoe-in, but just starting the year banged up. We have him on the show. We love him, but even you have to acknowledge, like, when an offensive line starts the year with an injury, and then if they play with that nagging injury all year, it can cause a lot of issues going forward. So let's hope he's okay. But from an objective standpoint, I got to pull back at this moment. So Brew McCoy. I mean, if Tennessee has to be good this year.
Let me give you my third.
Sure.
I'm going Squirrel White / Dante Thornton.
Well, that would be 3. Brew McCoy, Squirrel White, Dante Thornton.
Well, no, I would have Cooper. Okay.
Oh, you would have Cooper.
I would have Cooper. And then my third is Squirrel White / Dante Thornton. I don't think
receivers.
Well, slash.
No. What I mean, yes, but it'll be one of the other plus Brew McCoy. So either way, it's going to be 2 receivers.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some more 4 wide based off what I've been told over the weekend.
I think you're going. Okay, don't hate me. Travis is going to kill me because this drives him crazy. But I'm going Joe Milton / Nico Iamaleava. One of them is all SEC.
Oh, he's Coop. Man, Caleb's feeling naughty this morning. What down is it? What down is it, Coop? Just stirring it up on a Monday. Here we go.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down.
All right, so 4th down it is. Will there be anyone on the postseason list on defense? Any one person? I can't come up with one.
Tyler Barron. I'm going to go. I think he's this year's Byron Young.
I was going back and forth between Jalen McCullough and Tyler Barron. I think if Jalen McCullough played for a team like Georgia or Alabama that doesn't have the fast-paced offense, that he would be an all-SEC type of player. I do like him physically. I do like what he brings to the table, but you're always going to be giving up 250, 300 yards passing because teams are going to try to come back. So it's not going to make you look real good. I will say if it's anybody, it is Byron Young. But
you mean Tyler Barron?
Tyler Barron, excuse me. Tyler Barron. But I actually do not think that Tennessee will get anybody on the postseason list on defense. I tell you, one of the linebackers, Beasley could be. So let me give Beasley a shout out. If I had to pick one, I'd take Beasley. Is that off base? Am I crazy?
I don't know if I would take Beasley. I think we missed. Beasley made a lot of plays last year, but we missed a lot of times he got out of position, particularly in pass coverage, which was odd because he was a converted safety. So he should have been better in pass coverage. But I think the issues with Tennessee football at linebacker is if he gets in, it'll be because he racked up stats, but I don't know if it'll be deserving. I mean, I said the same thing with Jeremy Banks last year. Before everything happened in the South Carolina game, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Jeremy Banks was god-awful in coverage last year. I mean, he's one of the worst coverage linebackers I've ever seen. And Beasley's not much better.
He was not very good as a whole last year. He was what you would expect from a first-year starter with a lot of hullabaloo before he began the season. But at the end of the day, he was supposed to be an all-SEC player, and I don't think he was that.